All right, moving forward to our next thing here. It says, okay, there's a list that came out on Screen Rant. It says all confirmed Marvel characters to appear in She-Hulk. And I kind of want to break this down. And also, also, as I said, these are the confirmed cameos that are going to be in She-Hulk. But I have a few Film Trigger fan theories also that we're going to add in there at the end of it. Let's see here. All right. Marvel characters confirmed in She-Hulk. We have Hulk/Banner, Abomination. I think that's is it Titania?
Titania. I think. I'm not sure.
Titania. I think that's. I'm not exactly sure how to say it. I know that her character is a villain to She-Hulk, and obviously she appears in the trailer, but what she's going to be, how she's going to be portrayed is not quite known yet. Wong will appear in this because Wong's in everything. Can't go wrong with Wong. And Frogman, my most anticipated cameo of the show so far, is Frogman. What are you talking about?
Frogman? I think it was last time I told you what his abilities are, right?
Oh, he jumps really high?
He can jump high, but only with the suit.
So he has no abilities.
He has no powers.
I mean,
but the suit only lets him jump high.
To be fair, same can be said about Tony Stark, except Tony Stark invented the suit. But
Tony Stark invented the suit. He can fly. He can shoot lasers out of his hands and chest. He can freeze people. I've seen him do before. Because remember that he didn't freeze somebody, but remember when he got stabbed by Thanos, he was like ice to cover it up.
No, it was nano stuff. Did you think
whatever.
That was ice?
It looks exactly like ice. Like ice.
All right. So yeah, exactly, Malik. Thank you. So Batman, right? that's my point. Listen, I'm excited about Frogman because I see Frogman and all I can think about. Well, let me put it this way. James Gunn did a great job of making unknown characters be really cool. And now I get excited. Like Polka Dot Man. Who would have thought Polka Dot Man was going to be the heart of the Suicide Squad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like now when I see ridiculous characters, I feel like they're going to be in that light. And I'm here for it, man. I really am. Jimbo says, every time I see that still of Frogman, I just think of Judo Master from Peacemaker.
He gives me Judo Master vibes.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, it's funny that you also made a comparison to the James Gunn Suicide Squad. So obviously I'm not alone here. So thank you, Jimbo. I appreciate that. So Wong will appear. Now, what do you think Wong's part is going to be in the show? Because Wong doesn't just show up.
Like, he's got Abomination.
He's what?
He has Abomination.
Oh, that's Shang-Chi, right? Shang-Chi?
Yep.
I've never seen
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. I've never seen that. So, okay. Now I have to go back and watch that for this to make sense.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Welcome to the MCU.
Oh, man. All right. Well, and then obviously Abomination, who looks completely different for some reason. I guess multiverse magic. Sure. Why not? So there's the confirmed cameos that we have for the show. And that's a pretty good amount of cameos. Now, how well or how bad they're going to look is still up for question. I mean, even Banner looked kind of bad CGI, even though he looks great in the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe they'll fix it before the show comes out, but then again, it's also a TV series, so we have to keep that in mind. And also, I almost chose a different picture of Abomination. I almost chose the picture of the guy who plays Abomination, because he's going to be in this movie. He's playing the same character, but he won't be Abomination for the whole thing.
Right.
Almost like he can turn it off, like almost like a Banner Hulk situation. Was that something that happened in Shang-Chi that I missed, or
no? He's only Abomination in Shang-Chi. So,
okay. So how do you think they're going to explain that? Because I thought Abomination was kind of like just stuck that way. Like that's how he is constantly.
Maybe it has something to do with the prison that he's in, because his cell looks pretty weird.
Yeah,
you can see it in the trailer for the show, and it's also in Shang-Chi. Mm-hmm. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe that like takes away his powers or something. I don't know though. I'm just guessing.
That's a fair guess. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I was thinking too, to be honest with you. But yeah, so there you go. There's our confirmed characters, everybody. So as I said, I have a couple of Film Trigger theories that we have been kicking around the office here that we think might show up in this show, and I want to see what you guys think, and maybe you'll jump on board. Let's pull this up here. Film trigger theory for She-Hulk cameo. Number 1, Matt Murdock / Daredevil, because obviously lawyer, MCU. I think there a mention of the same law firm in the trailer that Murdock worked at, or at least where they worked together in the comics. I'm not exactly sure.
Probably something like that. Yeah, probably something from the comics.
But I feel like Matt Murdock will show up. But then the off the wall theory is Howard the Duck. Seth, why would Howard the Duck show up in this movie?
That's what I'm asking you. Is your theory? Is your theory? Why do you think Howard the Duck's going to be in She-Hulk?
Well, if I told you, I would have to kill you, to be honest with you. Without diving deeper into that, we at Film Trigger have caught wind that perhaps Howard the Duck might show up in the movie. Now, how Howard the Duck would show up might be in the same light as Abomination, because she's obviously is a lawyer for superheroes. They said that in the trailer as well. And Howard the Duck he's a known troublemaker. So like I could see him. I mean, we saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was trapped from the Collector. That's when he made his first cameo. He escaped from there. I forget where the second cameo came in at.
He's had 3 MCU appearances so far,
right, in
live action. So he was in the first 2 Guardians movies, and he was in Endgame, which most people don't realize. But he is in Endgame. He's in the background. He's
okay.
He's technically not. He doesn't do anything. You don't see him in action. He doesn't have any lines, but you can see him at a certain point. But and he's in What If, which that's multiverse stuff. But
right. But I think we need justice for Howard the Duck, and I honestly think if they could make this work, a Howard the Duck Disney Plus series would
I want a Howard the Duck show. I really do.
The only problem with it is that Howard the Duck is not necessarily a family friendly thing. Like Howard the Duck is known to be a sexaholic, alcoholic. As I said, it's kind of all around troublemaker. So I don't know exactly how that would work, if they would tone him down quite a bit for the series. I mean, they are bringing our content to the MCU, or to Disney Plus. I don't know. It's questionable, but I vote Howard the Duck, and I vote that he's going to show up in She-Hulk.
God,
mark it down. You heard it here first. If it happens, this is where you got the news. We pulled the trigger on that announcement.
I forgot how ugly he was in Guardians 1. Like that's a really ugly Howard the Duck design. Like especially when you see what he looks like in Guardians 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He has more of like a, I don't know, he looks more like a duck. He looks more like Howard the Duck from the comics than he does the Guardians 1 Howard the Duck.
Do you think Seth Green will continue voicing him?
Yeah, probably. If he does come back.
I think that's a good choice. I really do. Well, there you have it, guys. There's the Film Trigger fan theories. Matt Murdock, which seems like a pretty easy guess. Lawyer, superheroes, MCU. Makes sense. And then the more off the wall theory, Howard the Duck will show up in this show. And I promise you, if he does, you heard it here first.